Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to talk about the Durham Probe Special Counsel, the stock market, the economy, any topic, Trump doing pretty well in terms of endorsements. I talked about that. Herschel Walker winning. Pretty much any topic that we can talk about, if you would like to, via Super Chat, that'll be greatly appreciated. Your support via Super Chat is greatly, greatly appreciated. I can't do these live streams without you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. We have a lot to talk about this evening. And the interesting thing is that Michael Sussmann might testify. Prosecution rests in Sussmann trial as defense mulls putting defendant on witness stand. And you have, ladies and gentlemen, the best case scenario for the Durham Probe Special Counsel, the worst case scenario for Michael Sussmann, JG, Eric, Stop, Listen, Think, Amazing Colonel, Irish Mexican, hello, Kristen, everybody here, thank you so very much. Rob, we're going to do it live, exactly. JG, hello. It is an honor and a pleasure to have everyone here, ladies and gentlemen. So, the worst case scenario, okay, for Michael Sussmann is that he testifies. The best case scenario for the Durham Probe Special Counsel is that Michael Sussmann testifies. The absolute worst case scenario, because, look, they introduced the billing records today. Yesterday they started with the billing records, and today they ended with the billing records. He billed Madam Secretary, okay? Pretty clear cut. Attorneys are, very good at doing their job, but also ensuring payment. They billed the Clinton campaign. Okay, as he should have billed the Clinton campaign. He was working on behalf, he was trying to spread lies and deceitful allegations that were not true into a government agency. He did that on behalf of the Clinton campaign, so that's why he spread that information. He lied to James Baker, the legal counsel, James Comey's top attorney at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He lied specifically because he didn't want people to know initially that he was going on behalf of the Clinton campaign. Did they know? Yes, they knew. Yes, they knew. Sussmann is telling the truth, which is, I'm always going to give you that caveat that if there's a mistrial or he's acquitted, which I don't think will happen, I think that he'll be convicted. But Michael Sussmann is telling the truth, which will lead to further indictments. But the truth is that this was a formality. Okay, it was a formality that he texted James Baker that he was going alone. It was a formality. It was something that he needed to do just from a legal perspective because he didn't want on a text message. He didn't want because he understood also that the phone that Baker was using was very likely issued by the government. Okay, so he didn't want, and he knew that any text message would be read by other people. So what is going on here? Okay, so he knew that had he told the truth, had he texted, Sir Felix, God bless you, thank you. Had he texted, whose birthday is it? Eric! Happy birthday, Eric! Everyone, wish Eric H526 a very happy, it's just Eric. Wish Eric a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Eric. Hope you're having you had a great day, having a great day, and everyone here wish happy birthday to Eric. He is awesome. And fantastic. Happy birthday. But James Baker was the top attorney at the Bureau. Baker knew that Sussmann was going there to speak to him on behalf of the Clinton campaign. He is pretending, but see, the thing is, the jury and the judge and all of media, they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They're not going to admit that people at the Bureau and the Central Intelligence Agency and the Department of Justice and other agencies had it in for Trump. They're not going to admit that. They're going to say, well, there's no evidence that anybody at the Federal Bureau of Investigation was after Trump. They were just thinking of national security. So when James Baker says, look, I didn't know that Sussmann was going on behalf of the Clinton campaign, he texted me that he was not going on behalf of the Clinton campaign, the jury and the judge have to take him at his word. And that is a huge issue here. The judge and the jury have to take him at his word that he didn't know. And then they introduced billing records where they ask witnesses, and they're looking at the billing records, and they're asking, well, who did he bill the jump drives, the hardware, the little computer hardware that he purchased to relay all the false lies and allegations to the within the Federal Bureau of Investigation? Oh, that was billed to the Hillary for America. Okay? It was billed to Hillary for America. So there you go. It was, it's not like rocket science. He's on record as saying that he didn't go on behalf of anybody. Okay? He's under oath saying that he didn't go on behalf of anyone. Then he lied about it. The Durham probe special counsel found out about it. James Baker, stated categorically, I'm 100% confident that he lied, that he told me that he wasn't going on behalf of the Clinton campaign. He billed the Clinton campaign for his time and his services. He conspired alongside Tech Executive One and other researchers. This is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. So in terms of a conviction, the conviction is there. Okay, it's not rocket science. There's a conviction, and we will have a live stream tomorrow evening as well, and Friday evening. Okay, it looks like he's going to get convicted, and this will be one of the... Oh, Eric, nice. So it looks like he's going to get convicted. Okay, it looks like he's going to get convicted. You have all this testimony from, FBI agents and, people that worked at Fusion GPS, tech researchers, and they're all saying, look, he conspired to basically set up and frame Trump. Yes, it's true. The man conspired and worked, but his defense is the following. And like I said in the beginning here, he's telling the truth, but it's so sordid that he's going to have a hard time getting out of this. Okay, and look, it takes just one juror. It takes one person. So again, could there be a mistrial? Could there be a hung jury? Yeah, there could be a hung jury. But if there's a hung jury, I don't want people, oh, here we go, there's no justice. There's never any justice. It's taken this long to even get the first trial, ladies and gentlemen. Rome wasn't built in a day. We are going to have not only a red wave, it's going to be like a red tsunami. And it's now, like a couple years back I went out on a limb, but I'm not even going out on a limb now, okay? You're looking at history, but also an economy that's collapsing before our very eyes. And a society like, Biden, mashed potato brains Biden can take advantage of, Democrats can try and take advantage of every tragedy. They're not going to score any political points from tragedies, especially when everything's collapsing under their watch. It was their economic policies that caused this inflation. And I wrote about that in the Federalist in October. By the way, I had a stock market crash channel segment right before this one. So hit subscribe to the stock market crash channel below in the pinned comment, and subscribe also to the Bitcoin crash channel to 10,000 or lower. I don't want these things to happen, but they're happening, unfortunately. And that will be below in the pinned comment. But ladies and gentlemen, it's like, if there's a hung jury, it's not because of a lack of evidence. It's because you have people who are partisan, who don't want to see anyone who set up and framed Trump indicted. Michael Sussmann is very low on the rankings. He's very, very low in terms of, like, he's not like one of the top people who helped set up and frame Trump. Okay, he's not one of the top people. He's not like his colleague that testified against him. His colleague that testified against him, Mark Elias. Mark Elias helped purchase the Steele dossier. Okay? Mark Elias helped purchase the Steele dossier. And Mark Elias was involved in pretty much almost every element, almost every aspect of setting up and framing Trump. He testified, oh, well, we hired Fusion GPS because we were afraid Trump might sue us. It's like, give me a break. Give me a break. It has nothing to do with, Fusion GPS was not hired because of libel considerations, because Trump was going to sue for libel. They were hired specifically to create and fabricate and conjure up a story. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you so very much. Unfortunately, we're seeing the economy collapse, but fortunately, we're seeing the Durham Probe Special Counsel actually address a really, really sad and nightmare state of affairs in American politics. You cannot set up and frame an incoming candidate. You can't do that. You can't set up and frame an incoming candidate, which is exactly what they did. And I can assure you, the Democrats who didn't like Trump, I can assure you of one thing. Even if they're partisan on that jury, I can assure you that they learned a lot more than they ever did watching MSNBC or reading the Washington Post. I'm sure that jury, those people who didn't like Trump, I'm sure they never imagined in a million years that there would be such a concerted effort to go after Donald Trump with lies. With lies. I mean, it's not like, here's the issue a lot of people don't talk about. It's not like they were telling the truth. It's not like they were actually, trying to find out a plot or some kind of effort by Trump to work with another country. Okay? Literally nothing that the Mueller Probe Special Counsel, the Alpha Bank allegations, the Steele dossier, literally nothing that they accused Trump of had any basis in reality. They fall back on, he took advantage of the Kremlin's attempt at interfering. That is doublespeak for people decided to vote for Trump because Democrats were so corrupt. And we found out about that within the DNC emails. But that's not the fault of any foreign country. That's not the fault of Trump. Okay, Democrats would take advantage of Republican National Committee emails had they been hacked or published by anybody. And you better believe anyone who published those emails would be championed. Julian Assange should be free. The man should be free. And I wrote about that in the Daily Caller and the Times of Israel. I wrote 3 articles total on Julian Assange. He should be free. Sparky! But nothing's been done about Sparky! The issue is we're not going to have a major change in American politics overnight. We need the House. We need the Senate. We need the House and the Senate. We're going to have the House and the Senate. And it's going to be Trump Republicans. It's going to be Trump Republicans. It's not going to be like the Mitt Romney, like he was actually investigated by Republicans, like McCain and Romney and Paul Ryan and Richard Burr. These people did not want Trump to just have a normal presidency. Okay, because Trump doesn't revere Washington. That's the thing. He doesn't play the game. He doesn't revere Washington. He doesn't revere D.C. He doesn't revel in, the D.C. He doesn't care about the D.C. establishment. And so they wanted him out. Or I should say they wanted to keep him at bay. They wanted to ensure that that Trump didn't have a normal presidency. They wanted to ensure he didn't have a normal presidency. So they got, this has never happened before on such a public, overt scale. The intelligence agencies are not supposed to go after incoming presidential candidates. Oh, great. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get kicked off, please log back on if you get kicked. Unbelievable. Please log back on if you get kicked off, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Hey, Guy. Yeah, that's in that's in a different location. Sparky, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, with the they just kick you off. It's like I was barely getting enough subs, and they just kick you off. They're barely getting enough live viewers, and I just get kicked off. But the issue here is If Michael Sussmann tomorrow, if Michael Sussmann testifies either tomorrow or the next day, Anon, hello. If Michael Sussmann testifies, it will be a gift, an absolute gift to the Durham Probe Special Counsel, and it's really hilarious too. They're like. The defense is the audacity. How do they get away with this? They're here's the questions that you can't ask. Here's questions that you can't ask Michael Sussmann. It's what? What are you talking about? How are there questions that you're going to... If a person goes on the witness stand, you can't decide what people can ask and what they can't. You can't decide... I guess you could. I guess you can try to prevent certain questions from being asked. But I have no clue how that could be possible. Michigan Grandma, hello. How on earth can you... So, Lisa, hello. And Jenny, hello. They're actually... The defense was actually saying, well, the judge... They're trying to ensure that Sussmann isn't asked questions. Stephen! Stephen! Knizek, hello! Stephen! God forbid, God forbid. I don't think there's any chance of that. I don't think there's any chance of that. Stephen, thank you. Ay, ay, ay. Stephen, thank you so very much. Stephen, I don't think there's any chance of that. I think that let's put it this way. The only chance that he has at this moment right now of not being, Dark Meta, hello. The only chance that he has of not being convicted, aside from, somebody in the jury watching MSNBC on continual loop the night before, the jury comes to a conclusion. But the only chance that he has is to testify on his own behalf. The problem, however, is that he lied. Okay? Tom Pennington! AJ, thanks for all your other reports. Thank you so very much, Tom. Greatly appreciated. And I appreciate your support. And Stephen and everybody here, Sparky, everybody here, I appreciate your support. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you for the kind words as well. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. The interesting thing, it'll probably be an amazing, amazing, amazing day tomorrow or the next day if he is allowed to testify. If he testifies and he's asked very simple questions like, why did you build the Clinton campaign? He'll probably say, build the Clinton. Well, it was a standard procedure for me to bill a whole bunch of clients. That doesn't mean that I met with, those thumb drives were actually for other purposes. I was actually saving documents on them for my fantasy football spreadsheet. Yeah. My fantasy football. I'm picking Joe Burrow, number 1. Yeah. It was my fantasy football. I'm actually picking the entire Cincinnati Bengals team on my fantasy football league. In my fantasy football league, it's an unorthodox strategy, See, I'm just like you, jury. Jay! Whereas Andrew Weissman, he was part of the cover. He was. Jay, thank you. He was. That was the Mueller probe, though. The thing is, the Mueller probe, it's interesting. Jay, that's an interesting observation. These people did their job. They were operatives. So Jay, thank you. Tom, thank you. They were operatives. Stephen, thank you. Sparky, thank you. They were operatives. They did their job, just like the operatives who tried to foment violence at Trump rallies in 2016. Okay? They had a job to do. Okay? This is the thing. You have a political party that since the days of Tammany Hall is a money-making endeavor. It is a money-making endeavor. It is lucrative. It's more lucrative than running a YouTube channel. It's more lucrative than anything you're doing. It's more lucrative than 98% or 99% of what most Americans do. Think about how great it is to be a Democratic politician. You take advantage of every horrific tragedy. You grandstand. You accuse other countries of harming your political chances. You can get any positive coverage from the Washington Post to the New York Times to MSNBC to CNN to the New Yorker, New York Magazine, Rolling Stone, the Atlantic, Mother Jones, The Nation, Time Magazine, Los Angeles Times, most newspapers around the country, all of Hollywood. You will never get kicked off of social media. You can, with Hunter, you can go ahead and the Madam Secretary and Bill, don't bring me into this again. You can go and get money into a foundation, or you can have emails where people are actually asking for favors, and you can make tens of millions of dollars because of networking. Think about Jay and Tom and Steven and everybody here. How amazing is that? You can just go ahead, have a speech. You can charge 10, 15, 20, $100,000 for a speech at a conference, and just shake hands, and your campaign could raise hundreds of millions of dollars. And that those hundreds of millions of dollars you might not pocket in your own pocket, but you outsource and you fund all of these corporations that help your campaign, and then those corporations hook up people or hook you up for your foundation in the future, or help you with business ventures. Okay, business ventures that are linked to, I don't know, uranium sales, for example. I mean, think about how, and this was Tammany Hall. This is Tammany Hall. I mean, you could look it up, ladies and gentlemen. You could just look it up. You could look it up. Let's do it. Let's take a moment for Bitcoin to... Okay, here. Here, this is the okay, so here this is a Democratic, Tammany Hall Democratic Party. Let's see. And they talk about European immigrants, same thing. Hold on one second. There's some great lines here. Okay, so here. Hold on. There's actually hold on one second. There's some, it's really good. It's like, okay. So you can look, and it talks about here, like, it talks about how when he finds out when a business, when the city is about to utilize real estate. Herschel Ballard! Thank you, Herschel! When the city is about to utilize real estate for a certain purpose, then he goes ahead and invests in that real estate, and then he makes money. So hold on one second. Let me just go ahead. It'll take me a second, but this is great. I forgot where it was. I mean, what they do is they utilize their bureaucracy, their bureaucratic post, to help them make a great deal of money. They're not supposed to do this, but they find legal ways to do this, and they've been doing that for a long while. Republicans do the same thing, but Democrats is like an art form. Where is this? So basically, I can't find, hold on one second. You know what? I don't know if there's a whole bunch. I don't know if this is the entire book or only some of the book. Oh, here. Okay. This is, I think, here. There's a method to the madness. Okay. This is the Democratic Party from the 1800s until today. This is what I was talking about. Ain't it perfectly honest to charge a good price and make a profit on my investment? Okay, so here. So right here. Okay, so here. This is Bill, Hillary, mashed potato brains by honest graft and dishonest graft. Well, there's honest graft. Don't you know what honest graft is? Come on. Everybody is talking these days about Tammany men growing rich on graft, but nobody thinks of drawing the distinction between honest graft and dishonest graft. Don't you know there's honest and dishonest graft? There's all the difference in the world between the two. Yes, many of our men have grown rich in politics. I have myself. I've made a big fortune out of the game, and I'm getting richer every day, but I've not gone in for dishonest graft. Gamblers, saloon keepers, disorderly people, etc., and neither has any of the men who have made big fortunes in politics. There's honest graft, and I'm an example of how it works. I might sum up the whole thing by saying I seen my opportunities and I took them. Just like Hunter, just like Joe, just like Bill and Hillary. Just like every Democrat, and Republicans too, but Democrats is like an art form. Just let me explain by examples. My party is in power in the city, and it's going to undertake a lot of public improvements. Well, I'm tipped off. Say that they're going to lay out a new park at a certain place. Well, if you know that, then you buy it, and you make money. Herschel Ballot. Hey, Sir Felix, thank you. Sir Felix, thank you. Thank you so very much, Sir Felix. Thank you. Herschel Ballard, thank you. Thank you, Sir Felix. There you go. I seen my opportunity and take it. I go to that place and buy up all the land I can in the neighborhood. It's right there. Then the board of this or that makes its plan public, and there is a rush to get my land, and nobody cares particular for before. Which nobody cared particular for before. Ain't it perfectly honest to charge a good price and make a profit off my investment and foresight? Of course it is. Well, that's honest graft. There you go. Sir Felix, think of this. This is the Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Democrats, the politicians in the 1800s, they knew if a piece of land was going to be used by the city, and that piece of land wasn't worth much or barely anything at all, and a person like Plunkett, okay, the Democratic politician, buys the piece of land, waits for the announcement from the city, and then sells it. Thank you again, Sir Felix, thank you. Then sells it to the live stream, thank you. Then sells it for a profit. That's called honest graft. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been going on for a long, long time. This is the Democratic Party. This has been going on for a long time, people. This didn't start with Hunter or Bill or Hillary or Joe. Jay, hello. I don't have the beard. I don't have the goatee. This has been going on for a very, very long time. And the Durham Probe Special Counsel, they got brazen. They got very brazen, and I think Durham knows that this is one of the greatest political scandals in American history, and he's building a case, like slowly and methodically building a case. Now, it's going to be a setback if he doesn't get the conviction, but it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. Because then you get people who are overconfident. You can always slip at that point. See, politics is so difficult, as I've known. to predict. I mean, it's not like you're looking at politics. You're looking at so many different factors, so many different players. It's very difficult to predict. The polling industry is worthless in the United States. They're pretty much wrong on everything. They're pretty much on every grandiose, I should say, like the smaller contests, yeah, they're pretty good at. But the bigger contests, they're pretty much worthless in terms of who's going to win and who's going to lose, or at least by the margin that it takes place. There's just too many factors, but here you have too much momentum for Republicans because Democrats are so god-awful. They're so god-awful. This is like the worst political party I have ever seen in my life. There is, aside from the Bush Republican Party in the early 2000s. You know, it's very... Joe, Mashed Potato Brains Joe is almost as bad as Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld. And Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, I'll always put them number one in terms of how bad they were, just because of their foreign policy. Smuggler's Bench! Been far too long, my boy. I missed you, homie. I've been grinding hard. Yes! Times is hard for a player. God bless you. God bless you. One channel, please. 3 is too many. God, Smuggler's Bench, thank you! Thank you. Keep on working and keep on grinding. And fantastic, you know. Fantastic. One channel, you're right. The 3 channels, it's a labor of love. The Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or lower channel. Not that I want it. I don't want that to happen because I don't want to see people lose money. Unfortunately, that's going to take place, though. And the stock market crash channel, that's a labor of love. Not that I want anyone to lose money, but I've been accurately predicting. I mean, I called it from September of 2021, so I wanted to start a channel there. And no, I appreciate that, Smuggler's Bench, and I'm glad that you're working hard. And I think that, you know, if in life you're able to be lucky enough, fortunate enough, if God has blessed you enough to, well, Democrats call it privilege. They don't believe in God, so it's not like, you know, your prayers are answered because they don't actually pray. They don't believe in God, so who are they praying to? Who are they praying? They don't pray to anybody. So everything, these social theories are their God or their religion, but if you're blessed by God, or if you're lucky enough and fortunate enough, if the universe or God has shined enough, you know, fortune upon you to where you can work very hard, do something you love, or work hard to attain something beautiful, or work hard, you know, to feed your family and have a good life, that's a good thing, you know. So grinding and working hard, that's an awesome, awesome thing. Keep on grinding and working hard. Smuggler's Bench, thank you so very, very, very much for the kind words. You know, Aunt Jenny, that is the Plunkett of Tammany Hall, or the Plunkety, hold on one second. It's called The Plunkett of Tammany Hall, a series of very plain talks and very practical politics. Look, it's the best. Okay, Smuggler's Bench, you and I are doing it wrong. We're doing it wrong. Wrong. Like Trump says, wrong. Wrong. We're doing it wrong. You know what you got to do. Become a Democratic politician. Have $100,000 dinners with Hollywood celebrities and producers and banks. And gee, you get a great loan from a bank. Wow. Wow, how did that happen? Oh, maybe the president of the bank was hooking you up. Yeah. Yvette Moore! Yvette, thank you! Thank you, Yvette. I hope all is well. Thank you also for being just amazing always, and so kind and positive. Lou Maldonado, you called it. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. Thank you. I wish that it wasn't the case, but it's going to get worse. Lou, It's going to get worse, unfortunately. You know, Smuggler's Bench, Yvette, Lou, everyone here, I'll give a football analogy as to where we are as a country, okay? Lou, here's a football analogy. Smuggler's Bench, Yvette, here's an American football analogy, okay? It's the fourth quarter, and it feels real good in a rivalry game if your team is doing this, and it feels real bad if your rival is doing this. But let's say this is not a good situation, Lou. So our rival, our college football rival, is up by 17 points with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. And they're running the ball. And it's 3rd and 2. And they got 3 yards. So now it's 1st and goal. And that's our economy. And that's where we're the ones 17 points down with 5 minutes left. And our adversaries or the impending economic doom is, running the score, about to win, and shutting down the clock. Lou Maldonado, thank you. Aunt Jenny, thank you so very much. Thanks, HA, just bought it. Oh, cool. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it, Aunt Jenny. It's a great book. Yvette Moore, they've gone all in on a 7-2 offsuit. Exactly. Yvette Moore. Yvette. Yes. And it's like, Caroline, thank you. It's like, do you know how bad that feels? And still, I'm the type of person who's like, because I've seen it done, actually, sadly against my team, but I don't want to get into that. I've seen it done. You can come back, but mashed potato brains ain't coming back, unfortunately. If Mashed Potato was a football coach, he'd be the worst football coach of all time. But I've seen it. If you're down 17 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left, you can come back. You just have to have, the talent, the will, the coaching, the plays, the vision, the optimism, the hope, to come back. I remember Kirk Gibson's home run. I remember I was at a restaurant, and the roar of the restaurant, you could hear the whole restaurant just loud, like jubilance, like it was unbelievable. But anyway, sadly, that's not. I think that we're in for about a year and a half, 2 years, until we can get Trump or DeSantis, who will focus on economic growth. There's no doubt that Trump or DeSantis will focus on economic growth. There's no doubt Democrats will do anything but. See, the thing is, the Democratic Party has taken the place of church or like a temple or like spiritual, like most Democrats derive spiritual guidance from the Democratic Party. I know that sounds a bit bizarre, maybe hyperbolic, or maybe just that sounds a bit, it sounds like I'm saying that with malice or negative intent or negative sentiment. It's not. It's the truth. That's why they disown friends and family. They derive spiritual sustenance. It's like a part of who they are, not just their identity, but also like a part of like, they're not really like, believing in God or believing in a religion or understanding that, there's a higher power or something like that. And then you see these tragedies and you're like, how could a God allow this to happen? And believe me, I understand that. That those thoughts come, like, I ask the same questions all the time. Nonetheless, if you've replaced the notion of a God or spirituality or religion with politics, you're up the creek without a paddle. And that's what Democrats have done. Many of them. They truly believe they're on the side of justice, morality. They think it's immoral to own, let's say, Second Amendment. It's immoral. What? Why would it be immoral to protect yourself? Well, look what's happening. What on earth does that have to do with law-abiding citizens? They never talk about the maniac. They never talk about the evil and why people commit such evil. Smuggler's bench, Uncle Sam. Call me, bail me out. Smuggler's bench. Thank you. Smuggler's bench, thank you. Thank you. They never talk about why people they never talk about why these maniacs, the people I mean, I won't get into it, but the Democratic Party, you can rest assured, they're like, we're going to stand up against all of these horrible things. And what they do is they amplify, they're like the marketing department for horrible things that they never actually stamp out or address. Everything that they wanted to protect the environment didn't work out. Now fossil fuels are at all-time highs. Nothing ever works out. But the only thing they continue to do is pontificate and preach. That's the only thing they continue to do. That's the one thing they will continue to preach and pontificate and, condemn and judge and give it's like these lessons on morality that nobody asked for. Focus on your policies that happen to be horrible, by the way. They never actually, you have these Democrats who truly believe that they're right. It's like almost like a spiritual awakening for them. It's like this religious indoctrination where they can't deviate from, they can't even accept engaging in a civil dialogue or debate, because once you keep refuting them, they just get angry. They won't actually offer a rebuttal to the argument that you refute, and they won't go back and forth. It's like they get angry. JG! Exactly. They don't have policies, so they have to have wedge issues. And they don't even believe, it's interesting that they don't even believe in their policies. That's another thing. They really don't believe in their policies. They don't believe in, if they truly thought that fossil fuels were ending the planet, they wouldn't then flood fossil fuels. They wouldn't flood the country with strategic oil reserves after, miscalculating initially. Smuggler's bench! Thank you again! Smuggler's bench, thank you! Thank you! But, like I said, it's this is like Tammany Hall stuff. This is stuff that you see. This is stuff that you see, that you've seen in the 1800s. It's not Rome was not built in a day. Exactly. And God bless President Obama for doing that. But then don't say that climate change is the big issue on the planet. You're buying beachfront property, which means for the next 30, 40 years, you're just fine. You don't think that you'll be engulfed in seawater within the next 30 or 40 years. But everyone must drive an electric vehicle, which, by the way, you see this throughout Southern California now. You see the fluorescent, the bright charging stations now. Two. You see two. You'll see two of them at at a Rite Aid or a supermarket. It's are you serious? The Rise The Roz Rodriguez. Thank you. The Roz Rodriguez. Thank you. Thank you, the Roz Rodriguez. Thank you so very, very, very much. Thank you, the Roz Rodriguez. Thank you so very, very much. I hope all is well. I hope all is well, the Roz Rodriguez. So kind of you always. So sweet of you always. And like I said, I can't do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. The Roz Rodriguez, everybody here, Smuggler's Bench, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, JG, it's like, it's so easy to refute the arguments, too. And they've conditioned themselves also, like any tragedy, they're like, you see, it's all the Republicans' fault. It's like, how? If this happened, then that wouldn't happen. No. Absurd leap of logic, yet again. You have tragedies taking place in blue states all the time in blue cities. No amount of legislation is going to prevent, like, a criminal, like if someone has a criminal mind, there are human beings who, for some reason, we don't know why, enjoy or want or desire to inflict as much carnage as humanly possible. We have no clue why. And that is a very, very, very sad and frightening development or, situation. I'm speaking in roundabout terms, obviously, because it's a live stream and I want to be YouTube guideline friendly always. But the Roz Rodriguez, JG, everybody here, we have no clue why there are human beings who want to commit such evil. We have no understanding of why they want to commit such evil. We have no understanding why. And Democrats definitely don't care, nor do they want to even delve into why. Democrats have no word, like how like certain cultures have no words for something. Democrats have no words for evil. They don't know what that, the only thing they call evil is like their political opposition. Other than that, you really can't find an example of evil. They won't use the word evil. Okay? They won't use the, they won't say that a person has snapped or has lost his mind. That's always relegated to political discussions. Like they actually speak about Trump in a far more descriptive manner than anyone who does the unspeakable. The Roz Rodriguez, thank you so very, very much. Susan, hello. Son of a World War II vet, hello. The Roz Rodriguez, thank you so much. Thank you for keeping us today. Appreciate you very much. And I appreciate you, and we appreciate you. And I tell everybody, like, I'm not even like, I tell everybody in the day during my uploads, and I'm sure with 99% of people, it goes in one ear out the other. I say, look, become a member of the channel because we have awesome people. Everyone here is so wonderful. I don't even have, like, Eric and Luke aren't moderators anymore. I don't have moderators just because of a YouTube policy that I want to, like, But, I mean, they were amazing moderators, but we never had any problems. Eric, did we have any problems? Not really. And Luke, same way, we never. JG! Remember, yes. Everyone hit that like button for our most excellent. Mr. AJ Goodman. Thank you, JG. Thank you. The Roz Rodriguez, I cannot thank you enough. And JG, thank you for your support and always, and how awesome you are, JG, and for being a member for so long. The Roz Rodriguez, everybody here, Luke St. Martin, if you're still watching, we love you, thank you. And Eric, thank you so much for being, both Luke and Eric were moderators for a long, long time on this channel. And the Roz Rodriguez, we have such an amazing group of people. We have a really fun time. It's like a really nice group of people. Every live stream is just a nice group of people. Very quickly on, like if a troll comes on, the person it's like this, it's like almost troll proof. This live chat is like, you cannot. Years back, I remember some really bad people came on, and then, you know, it was just pretty easy to kind of, you know, kick them off the chat. But everyone would like to be defending me, so it was awesome. But we're going to have, I mean, imagine the live stream in November, people. November. I mean, think about that. The Roz Rodriguez, JG, everyone here, think about that. And of course, YouTube. Of course. Gosh, is this still on? Oh, Jeffrey Tubin, yeah. No, just joking. Thank you, S23, thank you. Sorry about everyone getting kicked off. I just, you know, tell them Rick rolled. Exactly. I got Rick rolled, everybody. I never even knew what that was, but it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious. Never gonna give you up, never gonna make you cry. Do, 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 do. And you know what? You know who would be singing that? I'm telling you, it would be the Democrat in your car as everything is turning to you know what. The last words you'd hear is, at least Trump isn't tweeting. At least Trump isn't tweeting. Shabriel, hello. Hello. The last words that you hear, the last words that you'll hear from a Democrat, you could be riding in your car. You could be riding in your car. ICBMs could be flying above because Joe miscalculated with Vlad yet again. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. ICBMs flying above. The ground could open up. You could see the center of the earth. It's like, you know, flames coming out of the ground. Your car is about to get pushed into a crack that's opening up where you can see the center of the earth. And you're about to fall in. Lightning hits your car. The sunroof is up. Birds poop. Somehow it gets right onto your dashboard and on you. You then look at your account on Robinhood on your phone, and you've lost everything, heaven forbid. Well, you have enough problems as it is. For retirement plan, it's gone. Everything's gone. And then you... JG, then you hear never gonna give you up, never gonna do. And it's not even the radio, it's your friend singing, and the Democrat, and they're singing because Trump isn't tweeting. Trump is not tweeting. And they're gonna say Trump isn't tweeting. That's hate, and nothing is bad. This is actually heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. The last moments, God forbid, at least Trump isn't tweeting. And they don't care. You have to understand, like, that is their life. That's their world. At least Trump isn't tweeting. They don't care about anything else. Like, there will never be a moment. There will never, ever be an I told you so moment. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. So, it's like, I mean, we can look, like, let's just look here. Stock market's first 100 days, worst first 100 days since 1970. Did I not call it, ladies and gentlemen? I think I'm going to do a stock market crash channel on this. Today could mark the stock market's worst first 100 days since 1970. Okay? This is the absolute worst. Wednesday marks the 100th day of trading, the Dow Jones Industrial and S&P are on pace for their worst 100 days since 1970. For the NASDAQ, it could be the worst first 100 days ever. The worst 100 days ever. And I have been stating like a maniac. Jordan Weinberg! Oh my goodness, not again. Jordan Weinberg, thank you so very, very much. Yeah, this stream is a little choppy. S23, yeah. Jordan Weinberg, thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. As always, Jordan, thank you. The Roz Rodriguez, thank you so much, as always. This is the worst 100 days. It's only going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's like, I've always been a positive person. Herschel Ballard! Herschel, you're over the target. They can't exist if Trump is tweeting. Exactly. Exactly. JG, exactly. Jordan Weinberg, thank you, Jordan, as always. Thank you. The Roz Rodriguez, I can't thank you enough. CMW! CMW as always, thank you. Thank you. Greatly appreciated, CMW. And I guess the only thing I can say for such support and such kindness, and I always rely on the kindness of strangers, or the generosity of strangers. What play? Everybody knows that. CMW, thank you so very much. Stella! JG, did you learn that the same year I did? Today, good mark. CMW, thank you so very much. And I guess the only way I can kind of, you know, articulate my appreciation is to say that I have been telling everybody on this channel, the stock market crash channel, that the market was going to implode. I hoped it helped, you know, some people. And CMW, thank you so much, as always. You've been such a great supporter, along with everybody here, and Jordan and the Roz Rodriguez. CMW, you're absolutely wonderful. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for all your support and generosity. Best Buy! Best Buy! They fixate on the tool or methods, never about actual root cause. Exactly. It's not political convenient. What leads people to do these things? Because they, like I said, they've jettisoned religion. Their God is MSNBC. You have to understand, they worship. They're spiritual. They derive spiritual sustenance from politics. Politics is something I enjoy. CMW, Jordan, CMW, thank you again. Always so kind of you, so generous. Roz Rodriguez, thank you again. So kind of you, so generous. Jordan, always so kind, so generous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again, CMW. Thank you. Best Buy, it's their religion. Okay? That's their God, their spirituality. That's why they don't want like armed security. They want the government. They want the government. The government is a good, altruistic friend, but only when they're controlling it, and when they're, you know, they want government to fix the problems of good and evil. Legislation will fix the problems of good and evil. Okay, legislation. But they don't talk about what is good, what is evil. They don't care. They don't understand. They don't care. Okay, they don't care. CMW, thank you again. The Roz Rodriguez, Jordan B, thank you. They don't care. CMW, they don't care. They don't care about any philosophical, you know, question, you know, any conundrum or dilemma we have pertaining to what causes evil, the root causes of evil. Why do these things take place? What causes a human being to want to engage in such unspeakable carnage? Why would a human being want to be known as the worst person who's ever existed. And you have to understand, these are the same Democrats who want to go to Tucker Carlson. You're horrible. You're garbage human. You're a bad human being. You're a bad human being. You know, this Bernie Sanders is like he's like a prophet to some people. Okay, these people are like prophets. They're like spiritual leaders. So Best Buy, CMW, everybody here, they don't want, if they can circumvent real serious discussions on the nature of evil, they'll do so because it goes back to human nature, which can't be, corralled by legislation. The rebuttal is, well, then why do we have laws? We have laws for a lot of things. It's like, well, you know what? You can buy any horrible substance you want, and it's against the law. People do it all the time. People actually buy legal substances and lose their life from legal substances. And Lisa, thank you. And it's like, they don't want to talk about why human beings engage in the behavior they do because they don't like the concept of free will. The concept of free will is blasphemy to the morally superior liberal Democrat. Why? Because if they don't have Twitter silencing, they need to have channels. They need to have barriers because their ideas don't resonate. So they need to enforce. So, for example, any comedian, any company, any person that falls out of line, well, that person can't be able to feed their families. They'll go after them in terms of economics or in terms of public relations. When I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, I know that people are going to start falling asleep now. They tried to, exactly, JG, they tried to silence me. Didn't work. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem that people fall into. Thank God I didn't fall into this trap. Maybe because of life experiences or because of perhaps something inside me, but maybe life experiences also, or maybe age. Or life experiences. But when you care too much about what they think, what the media or consensus, or if you care too much about social acceptance, which is basically one of the gods of Democrats, then you are susceptible to all their nasty tricks and their nasty type of political their politics. Best Buy! The state is their god. They fixate. Okay, so hold on one second. The state is their god. If they had the fear of God in them, they wouldn't support or believe most of their extreme positions. It's just morally wrong, and they know it. But see, again, their morality is not necessarily right or wrong or justice, or their morality is predicated upon acceptance. If they woke up the next morning and said, Trump ain't bad, they can't even, you have to understand, the average, wonderful, highly educated, morally superior liberal Democrat, Best Buy, CMW, thank you again, CMW, and Roz Rodriguez, thank you, and Jordan B. Best Buy, they would lose all their friends and family if they just said Trump ain't that bad. I remember on the left, if you didn't despise Trump as his personality as much as they did, he insults people. That's the worst thing they can say about him. He insults people because they can't say he's accused of things because so is mashed potato brains Biden. Worse things than anything Trump did. Actually, like the hot mic, Joe was accused exactly of what the hot mic said, and they didn't care. So, but their thing is social acceptance. They must be accepted. If they're not accepted, like I lost like 7 friends. You have to understand. Through no fault of my own. Like, I didn't steal money from them. I didn't insult them. I didn't have a falling out. It was just politics. And at any other point prior to 2016, if I became a Republican, they wouldn't care. Those same people wouldn't have cared. They'd be like, what? You're a Republican? What? But Trump brings out the worst in the morally superior because they don't like his personality. They can't say his economy was, even the biggest, never Trump person. You have to admit the economy was great. His last year in office, you also have to admit it was Democrats that did in the economy with shutting down economic activity. That was a Democratic thing. But I mean, like, these people, like, they cannot be with anyone who supports Trump because then they'll lose friends and family. They rely on groupthink, social acceptance. This is like a high school. It's like the kid in high school who doesn't want to be friends. Like it's like the 80s movie where you're friends with somebody, but that person has to turn on you because all the cool kids don't like you. So, which is really funny because one person I know, I was his first friend. One person who disowned me because of politics, I was literally this dude's first friend. Do you understand? And God bless him. He's a beautiful human being. I have nothing I'm just saying, like, he, like others, made politics part of his, spiritual, his identity. Who he was as a human being was political. And they make absurdly absurd. You voting for Trump, you liking Trump is just like, and then fill in imagine the most absurd leap of logic. It's unbelievable. The most absurd leap of logic. It's like, well, do you know that the Lincoln Project is opposed to Trump and they want never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts? I don't care about that. Trump is mean. Like, oh, you don't care about never-ending military conflict. But Trump is mean. So you call that moral? You call that morality? Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, that's morality. Yeah. It's like there's no rational thought. It's just pure emotion. Which gets back to Bernie Sanders. Because everything gets back to Bernie Sanders. Don't you understand? It's just so simple. It's so simple to understand. Everything gets back to Bernie Sanders. And here's why. When Bernie Sanders was cheated, okay, you have to understand, JG, they're going to be singing Rick Roll, like the last seconds of humanity, and I'll be like, by the way, I just want to let you know, Bernie was cheated. Okay, now we can, mushroom cloud, everything's fine. When Bernie Sanders was cheated, they admitted to the world that they didn't care about policies. Okay? If you cared about, Medicare for all, Green New Deal, all whatever these policies are, then you wouldn't cheat the only candidate that is actually pushing those policies. But see, what they did was they said, we're going to use him to funnel left-leaning votes back into the party. Then you have the vote blue no matter who people. They'll pontificate and preach, and at the end of the day, and there's, how many, look, how many pundits out there on this platform who are just complete and utter fakes and phonies? They just want to vote blue no matter who because they're part of, a cult. That's why they go after Jimmy Dore. Because Jimmy Dore said, why don't they vote on it? Why doesn't AOC vote on it? Medicare for all. She doesn't want to. Best Buy. It's intellectually lazy to be a liberal dem. Memorize political taglines and smear your enemy with that. which you are guilty. Exactly. Every Republican I know can actually have a debate from both sides. I agree with you. I think the Republicans of 20 years ago are more like the Democrats of today. I think the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, like those, I think that the Lincoln Project people, when they became part of the Democratic Party, and Best Buy, thank you so very much, and CMW, thank you, and Jordan and Roz Rodriguez, thank you, CMW, thank you. I think that when Bernie was cheated, but also when the Lincoln Project, two things happened. Bernie being cheated and the Lincoln Project became embedded within the Democratic Party. The Democrats are not the Democrats of 20 years ago. The Democrats of 20 years ago, in many socially, in certain issues, they made sense. But now Republicans don't care about those social issues. The Republicans of today are the Democrats, generally, of 20 years ago, in many respects. The Republicans of today are the Democrats of 20 years ago. When they say the Democratic Party moved to the left, that's true, but you have to, it's not just that they moved to the left. It's that in terms of public relations, they moved to the left. Like yelling and screeching and silencing others and having all these sacred cows. It was Republicans 20, 30 years ago that had all these sacred cows. And it was Democrats that were more libertarian. Now it's completely different. Now the Democratic Party has a whole bunch of sacred cows. You can't say, oh my God, if you say this, it's blasphemy, it's heresy, oh my God. That's why Trump is hilarious. Half the country doesn't see what Trump is doing, who Trump is. They don't see they don't see the beauty, or they don't see how hilarious Trump is. They don't get it because they take everything literally, and everything is like dogma. Everything is the way Democrats see Trump is that they see him as this tyrant, but in reality, he just doesn't care what they think, which is a huge problem for Democrats. Morally superior liberal Democrats wake up every morning and they look in the mirror and they say, I'm protecting the planet with my virtue. And then they say, Trump is mean. Not like us who set him up and framed him and silenced and try to, use economics against any... Susan, hello. I won my online game. Nice, Susan. Nice. You should start a YouTube channel. There's all these chess YouTube channels with chess champions or whatever. But Trump definitely crushed the establishment. And you're going to see ladies and gentlemen, everybody, please remember, be here. Please be here, ladies and gentlemen, for the live stream this November. Captain Planet, exactly. And then that's the thing. It's this November, the entire machine. Think about it this way: Elon Musk is going to have Twitter. So there will not be the sacred cows that have to be, if there's a story in 2022 or 2024, it's going to be publicized on Twitter. And if it's detrimental to the Democrats, then they won't care. That's why they had a disinformation governance board. Best Buy, the left can't mean because their reality is based on lies. Memes highlight the truth from the lie. Mocking lies with more lies isn't funny. Exactly. And also, that's why they don't like comedy, because there's truth in comedy. That's why they don't like Dave Chappelle or Ricky Gervais or they don't like they wouldn't like George Carlin. If George Carlin turned on them, you know who they really wouldn't like? Christopher Hitchens, Best Buy. Yes, JG, it'll be epic. I can't wait for you to be here. It'll be epic. They definitely wouldn't, they would think Christopher Hitchens was an extreme conservative. Oh my God. Alt conservative. Oh, they would make up as many disparaging names to call him. Lisa, thank you. Christopher Hitchens was amazing. You know what? You know why he was amazing? Because he didn't really he didn't care what any side thought of him. He articulated his position, and he was so eloquent and charming also, and he had this charisma, and he had humor, and he was sincere, and there are things that maybe he wasn't right about, but most of the time he was spot on. Most of the time he was right. And he didn't care about feelings. He didn't care about people getting offended. He was at the forefront of defending speech. At the forefront, Christopher Hitchens was. And today's Democratic Party would view Christopher Hitchens with more contempt than even Trump. Herschel Ballard, the Borg hates laughter. It does. It does. It does. And also, the Borg is not as big or influential, really, as without Twitter. I mean, Twitter was the main source of influence. It was the main source of influence. You have these people, it's hilarious, like on TikTok, they're like, you know what, Elon Musk, I'm leaving your platform. Twitter stinks now. I had so much fun on Twitter, and now I'm going to go. And it's like, that's the only thing Democrats have. It would probably serve them best to stay on Twitter and try desperately to keep it as a platform that silences discussion. God bless you too, Lisa. Thank you. They would probably be better served trying to salvage whatever is left of Twitter or whatever is left of what they think Twitter should be. But instead, they're petrified and running from any, they know now they don't have a gigantic dystopian social media platform to silence debate. They know that now. Okay? Oh my God, Colbert. It's like, you have all these aging comedians. Jimmy Kimmel isn't even a comedian. His jokes aren't even funny. He's just a political operative. There's such malice and it'd be why doesn't Jimmy Kimmel go say anything about mashed potato brains, Joe? Nothing. There's so much comedy there. I mean, it's kind of sad, so maybe there isn't that much comedy. But you see these people, it's like, without all of that, they don't exist as a political party. So slowly, think about that. Twitter will be wrestled away from them, and they'll get obliterated in the House and Senate. And unfortunately for the country, we'll have a devastating stock market crash by that time. Best Buy, thank you so very much. There's a reason that OK Boomer and NPC and I support the current thing is so effective. It channels their reality, exactly. Okay, that's right. That's right. It does. It does. It does. Best Buy. Thank you so much, Best Buy. It does. Yeah, I mean, the Democratic Party's taken the place for many people of, spiritual or religious doctrine, dogma. They don't believe in God, so they believe in social acceptance and politics or political grandstanding. They think they're morally superior, but they don't realize, here's the reality of politics, okay? Even though I think that you'd have to be a complete imbecile to vote Democrat, there are good reasons to vote Democrat and good reasons to vote Trump. Not just Republican, Trump Republican, or DeSantis. There used to be an understanding in American society and American politics that there were good reasons for both. And you left it at that. It wasn't a zero-sum game where if you voted for Trump, you were trying to vote for the end of humanity. Okay, they make all these absurd leaps of logic because they don't have they don't really have actual arguments. So If somebody, like, I know lots of people who voted for Biden. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Even though you can see the economy, the society, the country is collapsing. I mean, this is, I was too young in the late 70s, but it's probably as bad or worse than what took place in the late 70s. I mean, you let me know if you lived through the late 70s. You let me know. Is this worse? Let me know. If I have a lot of people, who lived through the late 70s watching this channel. This is a moment where we're on the decline. We're on the decline because we're not living up to our potential economically or on the world stage, because we have people who don't govern. Mashed potato brains doesn't govern. What he does is he attempts to govern through a bizarre consensus of people who, really decide what's going on. He doesn't have any vision also. Like, he doesn't have any vision. He has no vision. He doesn't know Herschel Ballard, okay? He doesn't like President Mashed Potato Brains doesn't really care. Like, he started with, we're going to save the planet. Then it's, let's find out how to lower the price of gas. So, exactly. Amazing Colonel. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. CMW, Best Buy, the Roz Rodriguez, Jordan B, everyone here. Thank you so very much, everybody. Like I say, I can't do this without you. And your super chat is so greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks, everybody. Thank you so very much. And I will see you all tomorrow. Be here for the live stream. I'll have a live stream tomorrow about 9 p.m., 8:30 and 9 p.m. So be here tomorrow at 8:30 and 9 p.m., everybody. Eric, everyone here. JG, everybody here. Thanks so much. To my super chat, CMW, the Roz Rodriguez, Best Buy, everybody here. I can't thank you enough, everybody. It's been wonderful. Have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. Please go ahead. I have a Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or below segment right now. So go to that channel in the next 5 minutes. It'll be uploaded. And go to the stock market crash channel. I have a segment on the latest food shortages.